everyone, and welcome to Tal Talks, or really I should say Ahoy Babies. This is our Oktoberfest edition of Tal Talks. I'm Tal. You should know that by now, probably. And I am here with the foxiest of bards that I've ever met, and he's going to answer some questions for us today. My first question.
I cannot guarantee that I'll actually answer any of the questions. I mean, you will ask the questions, and then I will make sounds with my mouth hole, but whether they will answer the questions or not is entirely up to opinion.
Good to know. So we might hear some answers to some questions, which will be nice.
Right.
So my first question for you is, how would you describe your act, your music? What kind of music do you play, and what kind of things do you do?
Well, I suppose you would say, of course, I'm a Ren Fair act. I'm a musical act. I do Irish drinking songs, Irish folk songs, songs of rebellion and fighting and drinking. But here's the thing. I am also what you might call a cunning linguist. And as a result, I sometimes stray from English and start doing drinking songs in other languages until I start getting cocky and eventually just go pick a language. And then you pick a language and then I sing a song in that language. And the whole time, by the way, you drink and I drink. And the more I drink and the more you drink, the better I get, the happier you get, and the more likely it is I'm going to start getting blue and start singing songs that will make you laugh and feel bad about yourself for laughing.
Now, I'm trying to think about how we met. I think we met at the Connecticut Ren Fair, right?
Yes, we met at the Connecticut Fair, I believe. Wait, was it? It may have been the Connecticut Fair. It may have been the Robin Hood's Fair.
Oh, yeah.
When they were both running at times. So
yeah, it was probably the Robin Hood Fair.
It may have been, I'm not 100% sure. It was I think it was my second year working there that I first met you. It was when you were below the gaff.
Yeah, I was with below the gaff.
Definitely below the gaff.
And I remember just thinking, oh wow, this guy plays a lot of instruments and he's really good on stage. And then we tried to kidnap you a bunch of times. And we slightly succeeded.
I love being slightly kidnapped. It's a joy. It really is. It makes me feel wanted.
Oh, that leads me to, I mentioned that you play a bunch of instruments. What was actually your first instrument? What got you into music in the first place? And how many instruments do you play?
All right, so what got me into instruments in the first place? So when it comes to what is my first instrument, if we want to be very, very facetious, then I will say that my first instrument was my voice, which I had been using since I was 2 years old. Because what got me into music in the first place was my mother making the discovery at some point that I had a good voice. By the time I was 2 years old, she had forced me to memorize Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, God Bless America, a number of other just random songs that she thought would be cute for her 2-year-old to sing. And then she would have her little parties where she would invite her friends. And at some point she'd go, oh, David, come over here and sing for the living. And have me sing for the... And now I do this for a living. And she wonders why. But that being said, if we're going beyond that facetious and silly answer, I've always been involved in music. My family's always been a musical family. So growing up, I kind of fiddled around with piano. There was always a piano in the house. And I kind of, my father got me a guitar when I was 12, which I proceeded to faff about with for a few months and then put in the closet and forget about for years. But if you want to talk about the first instrument that I really learned for realsies, then that would be the mandolin, actually, which I got myself a mandolin when I was 19 because a couple of friends of mine decided to put together a D&D group. I was playing a bard character, and I felt that it would just not be properly in character to not have it. So I bought a mandolin.
Sure, they love that.
Words involve only 2 fingers. And so I bought the mandolin and actually stuck to it and learned how to play it and really learned how to play it. And so that would be the first instrument I really learned how to play. I also fiddled around with like penny whistle and fife for a while. So at this point, I play a lot of different instruments. My primary instrument now is a bouzouki, which is like a mandolin and a guitar got together and had a hybrid child, which I like. So this is my primary instrument now. But I also still play mandolin, play guitar, play fife, penny whistle, concertina, bodhrán, and just like whatever I can get my hands on. Lyre, lyre the instrument. I'm not calling myself a liar right now, but just stuff. I'm constantly expanding. I'm right now trying to learn flute, clarinet, and violin, which are challenges, but I'm getting there.
I play clarinet, actually.
So yeah, I faff about a lot with a lot of stuff.
All right, well, that's a lot of instruments. I've seen you play a lot of them, and it's tough at the fairs because you have to bring a lot of equipment, and then
Right.
I know a lot of people criticize about the care of your instruments.
Yeah, my instruments, it's not just me instruments, it's everything I own, really. I destroy my property continuously. It's like for most of my garb, for example, comes from a fellow called Tigger Toggs, who makes very, very resilient and tough garb that I tear to shreds. And I come to him every year. I go to his shop at Pensick when I go there to stock up on garb, and he just looks at the garb that I'm wearing. He's like, "How do you do this?" And he looks at the shirt like that was not the color of the shirt when I sold it to you. Like, I know, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, do you wash them in bleach or something? No, hand washed, hang up to dry. That doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, I believe it, and the reason is actually because I don't think a lot of people realize this, but you're one of the most hardworking people at the fair, at any fair that you go to. Like, you're going to be...
The right word is hyperactive.
Hyperactive. Well,
I was diagnosed as a child.
The Foxy Bard will be literally everywhere. You'll just be like, wait, didn't I just see you? Oh, how did you? And he doesn't sleep. He'll just stay awake the whole time and just constantly playing music, never stopping. Even when your voice is gone, you're like, oh, too bad, I'll just keep going.
I do. And when my voice goes, I tell myself, now I have to take it easy. I cannot use my voice anymore, otherwise I will lose it forever. I never listen. I never listen to myself. To me, hates past me. That's just the way of things.
So why the name change, I think, is the biggest question that everybody's wondering right now. He used to be known as the Creepy Bard, and now he's the Foxy Bard, and he's now playing with Drunken Disorderly.
Right. So, all right. So the reason for that. I suppose part of it is I came to understand the furry side just a wee bit, but biggest reason is ultimately because so the Creepy Bard. First of all, why did I choose that name in the first place? Two reasons. One is because I was doing a lot more blue. I was doing a lot more dirty songs back then. I still do dirty songs nowadays, but dirty songs has definitely been put on the back burner now. Kind of the thing I bring out at late night. I'll do that for the after hours shows. But for the most part, I'm straying more away from that. And so back when I was doing more of the dirty songs, the Creepy Bard made sense. That, and it was the nickname that I had back when I was in yeshiva. Because that's when I first started playing mandolin, was with my D&D group in yeshiva with the other Bochrim who were also nerds. And they started calling me the Creepy Bard, and that kind of became the joke amongst the Bochrim. And so when I started doing this professionally, I just decided I'll go with that. That makes sense. And I'm doing a lot of dirty songs anyway, so it also makes sense. But then somewhere along the line, I kind of realized that the older I get and the more gray hair I get, the creepier creepy gets. And it's like when I was younger, when I was in the early 20s, and I was young and handsome and charming. You could get away with being the creepy Bard, and it's cute. But then I start I've actually got gray hair now, a little bit, just a wee bit here. And I realized that the grayer it gets, the creepier creepy gets, and it's just not going to be funny anymore after a while. And I figured I better change that before I become an old man and I'm the creepy Bard, and then it's strange. And I don't want to do that. So
careful, you're a little bit younger than me. You're a little bit younger than me.
I'm a little bit younger, but and it's but here's the so on the one hand, realizing creepy is only going to work for so long, and also realizing that the dirty songs in general are only going to work for so long.
Yeah.
You know, if you're young and cute, then singing dirty songs is cute. But the older you, but when you be, if I eventually hit 60 and I'm still doing this for a living, which I honestly plan to, I'm going to be doing this till I die if I'm lucky. But when I hit 60,
which we hope you make it to 60. We hope you make it to 60.
I hope I can get there. But if I do make it there, then singing the dirty songs may or may not be cute anymore. So it's like now is sort of the time. Now when I'm still young enough and handsome enough that I can get away with it, but I don't need to get away with it anymore. It's like it's now the time to kind of shift to like I don't need to be dirty to be funny. I don't need to be dirty to be entertaining, and I don't need to be creepy to be entertaining. So something different, but I don't want to change my character. I still want to be completely out of my mind. It's like I don't plan on being serious at any point. So Foxy, I feel, kind of works that way because Foxy can still, every now and then I still want to be dirty. I'm still young enough that I can still be dirty and get away with it, and I still want to be dirty every now and then. And Foxy allows me to do that, but also allows me to just do whatever else, and also explore me furry side. I'm working on a pair of ears right now. I haven't figured out exactly how to attach them yet, but I'm experimenting with that just a wee bit.
So let's explain Drunken Disorderly a little bit. Drunken Disorderly is a band that you put together.
Yes.
Generally, it's you and other people.
So yes, it's basically, so Drunken Disorderly was about 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
God, was it that long?
Yeah, 4 years ago, I think. Brian of the Connecticut Renaissance Fair approached me and asked me to put together a band, like a house band, for the Connecticut Renaissance Fair, which I did. Drunken Disorderly as a band played for Connecticut Renaissance Fair for a couple of years. Eventually, not anymore. But then again, it was only ever intended to be a placeholder until Connecticut Fair could get a better named band to get a better band to put there. I shouldn't say that. But
we were great, even though we never practiced ever.
Yeah, practicing is for wussies. But yeah, that's the thing with Drunken Disorderly, is that was part of it was me and whatever musicians I thought could handle making shite up as they went along, which you being one of them, because I know you have a good enough grasp of how music works to fake it. And that is a lot of what I do, frankly, is faking it. And so if I'm going to put together a band, it's going to be people who I know are good at that and are quick on their toes, because that's the key to it, is being able to make it up as you go along. And so I was with Drunken Disorderly so I created Drunken Disorderly for the Connecticut Renaissance Fair. We did the Connecticut Renaissance Fair for a few years, also did a few other fairs, and at the moment Drunken Disorderly still exists and is going to be continuing to do a few more fairs, but it's also it's a transitional thing, and it's more of it's a name for a band to have a band whenever for whatever reason the creepy Bard wasn't going to work. That was a primary reason why I continued to develop it a bit, and it's the other reason why I continue to have it, because I can also imagine in the future that there may be future instances where the Foxy Bard won't work. Instances where I might want a band for for a pirate event, which I do a few of those every now and then. I don't just do Renaissance fairs. I also do pirate festivals, and so for those, the Foxy Bard isn't necessarily good, and so you want to have Drunken Disorderly, and that's that is kind of what Drunken Disorderly is for me. It is a constantly in flux band that enables me to A, do gigs where my primary character just won't fly,
Yeah.
and B, gives me the opportunity to play with people that I like, and to be able to play with as many people as I like, you know, because if I have a band that's the Drunken Disorderly band, if I see a violinist who I think is fantastic, hey, do you want to join my band for this weekend? Come on in. You're in Drunken Disorderly now. You're in this band. And that's the most important. That's the biggest reason for me why I keep it going, is so that it gives me an excuse to play with anyone I want. People like you, for example.
Now, you've always had like an online presence. You've had it for a long time. You've had YouTube videos and things like that. But right now you're doing something a little different. It's not music.
Yes.
Do you want to tell people about it? It's pretty cool.
All right. So recently, because I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd, and I play Skyrim. I play modded Skyrim with numerous mod lists, with various alternate characters, and I roleplay the hell out of it because I'm a nerd, and I'm such a nerd that I purchased this. The Elder Scrolls, the official cookbook, a cookbook that recreates all of your favorite in-game foods from Skyrim. For example, the snowberry croissata, and oh, who can forget blackbriar mead, and of course the most important, and the one that everyone, the sweet roll. Because someone stole your sweet roll. If you have never played Skyrim, you may have at least heard that meme at some point. So, I purchased this book during the plague because I was bored. And I started cooking because I was bored. Cooking, by the way, is something that I used to do when I was younger, but then got out of it because I had roommates who continuously leave my kitchen a mess. And I decided that if I couldn't make it better, then at the very least I could not make it worse. So, I stopped cooking. But I have different roommates now who are much neater than the older roommates, and I had nothing to do during plague aside from sit here. And so I decided to buy this cookbook, and I started cooking stuff out of the book, and I realized, wow, I'm a good cook. I forgot that I was a good cook. It's just been so long since I've done it. And I started putting pictures on Facebook, and people were like, wow, that looks great. I'd love to see you cook. And I thought to myself, I could do a cooking show. Why not? And so I started doing a cooking show. And then I got another cookbook. I got the medieval cookbook by Maggie Black. And I started doing period recipes. And because I'm not going out very much anyway, I'm ordering everything online. I didn't think twice about going online to look for weird spices like spikenard and galangal and grains of paradise and long pepper and things that haven't been used in hundreds of years except by weirdo nerds like me. So I get all these ingredients and I start making things and doing these shows, and I'm realizing I'm going to keep doing this even after plague is over. After plague I'm going to keep doing the cooking shows because I feel like I'm expanding now, and it's fun. It's nice to just sort of stretch out a bit and try different new things. And everyone should.
I have to say, I have watched you cook on your cooking show. I am like the pickiest eater in the world, so I'm just in there being like, nah, I wouldn't eat that. Nah, I wouldn't eat that either. And I think your companion who helps you is a little picky as well.
Well, yes, Twig has said, as you might be able to hear her giggling in the side over there, Twig has been quoted as saying, "You're a great chef. I just don't like any of the things you cook." I like pastries. And I like coating my kitchen in flour. It's fun.
Well, I'm going to move ahead a little bit. And I was wondering if you had any stories of anything weird that has happened, or funny stories when you've gone to shows or that have happened during performances.
Oh, God. It's like, where should I start? There's a lot of those. Like what kind of weird? There's different kinds of weird. Like there was a time when I went to the Fort Tryon Renaissance Fair, and in the middle of the show, this random. Here's the problem. Here's the ultimate problem with that show, and that is the Fort Tryon Renaissance Fair takes place in a public park here in New York, about 12 blocks that way, and they don't actually have stages.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Park, so you're just on the sidewalk with a bunch of but they put out a bunch of hay bales for people to sit on, but there's no actual like delineation between your performance space and everything else. Yep. And so just this random woman, just because, and this isn't really a fair story, to be honest. This is just a living in New York story. Honestly, that's what this is. Because I'm up there doing my show, and there's people gathered around, and this random woman just comes in through the wall of people, right through, a skinny blonde white lady too, like middle-aged, and I'm just throws herself on the ground in front of me, and takes her purse, and starts emptying it out, and just going through the stuff, and starts mumbling to herself. I don't even know what she was saying. And I had to look at all the people and go, Lords and ladies, this is not part of the show. Somebody call the cops. And so there's that.
All right. Well, we're running out of time, and I need to make you do our tongue twister challenge.
Oh, tongue twister challenge.
So everyone who comes on here does Marf's tongue twister challenge. Right. I'm going to put it in the chat. Do you know how to get to the chat on there?
We'll get to the... Oh, there we are, there we are.
So I'm going to have you look at it and then say it as quickly as you can.
All right. Percy the Pirate's parrot Polly presented Peddler Pete with Polly's pilfered planks.
That was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Can you do it faster?
Oh, can I do it faster? I'm going to bring it back up. Let's bring it back up and try to do it faster. Here we go. We're going to try this faster. Percy the Pirate's parrot Polly presented Peddler Pete with Polly's perfect planks. I could try it one more time. See if I can do this a little bit faster. Here we go. Percy the Pirate's parrot Polly presented Peddler Pete with Polly's perfect planks. There we are. I think that's about as fast as I can go.
That was good. Thank you. Yeah. I think that was better than anyone else so far. I think I need to make a longer tongue twister for next time. I really want to get somebody really good, but it's hard to write tongue twisters apparently.
Right.
Go figure. So now is the point of time where you can advertise all the things that you do. You are going to be doing a show for us this coming weekend. Yes. It'll be on Sunday at 6 p.m.
Yes. Sunday at 6 p.m., which I need to talk to you about that because apparently Zuckerberg's threat was not true.
It definitely is true. They've shut down so many people already.
Really?
Yeah. I'll talk to you about it after.
We'll talk later about that bit of madness. We'll figure it out. Yeah. I'll place the so. All right, moving on to the advertisements. So when it comes to stuff that we're doing, so every Thursday at 5 o'clock, we do our show Cooking with Foxy, where we cook medieval and nerdy recipes. This week we are going to find out which book has won on our most recent vote. If you become a Patreon on our Patreon, if you become a patron on our Patreon, that's how it goes. If you become a patron on our Patreon, you can vote on what we're going to cook next until we decide to change cookbooks, in which case you vote on which cookbook we're going to go with next. Your choices are Eat Like a Viking, an unexpected cookbook, that's Hobbit cooking, and a Feast of Ice and Fire, which is Game of Thrones cookbook. So at the moment, I believe Eat Like a Viking is in the lead. So you will find out at this week's show on Thursday at 6 which cookbook we will be going with, although in the meantime we're making chicken dumplings. So that's Thursday at 6. Saturday, that is on Facebook Live. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Foxy Bard, and you can find our cooking show, which Zuckerberg hasn't decided that cooking shows are a problem, so we're good. On Saturday night at 9, we do our show Foxy's Drinking Hour. Foxy's Drinking Hour, Saturday night at 9. Also, Sunday at 2 in the afternoon, we do Foxy's Hangover Hour. Foxy's Drinking Hour and Foxy's Hangover Hour are very much the same, with the exception of on Foxy's Hangover Hour, we drink a little bit of coffee with our whiskey. We drink, we chat, we sing songs. We sing more songs, we drink and chat again, and we always end the evening with the song In Heaven There Is No Beer, in which you tell me what you think is not in heaven, and I will make up a verse to justify your theology. I went to theological seminary, damn it, I can do this. So, is that so? Cooking with Foxy on Thursday at 6, Foxy's Drinking Hour, Saturday night at 9, which that is on YouTube Live instead of Facebook Live, which I'm still trying to figure out. But I'm working on it. So that's on YouTube Live. Foxy's Hangover Hour Sundays at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is also on YouTube Live, which I'm still trying to figure out. And beyond that, our next actual gig that is coming up will be the Mythical Medieval Festival in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, second week of November, assuming that it still exists. We will see if that actually continues to exist. I'm confident. I'm getting confident, and I'm getting a special mask made for the event, which will be a little fox snatch.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's going to be adorable. And so if that works out, the Mythical Medieval Festival, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, second weekend of November. And beyond that, it's just the clickety-clicketies, www.patreon.com/Foxy Bard, www.facebook.com/Foxy Bard. If you want to make a one-time donation, you can go to www.coffee.com, that is to say, ko-fi.com/Foxy Bard. Or you can purchase our album, Drunken Disorderly.
That's what I was going to ask.
Bard.bandcamp.com. I remembered all the WWs.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for talking with us and not being too drunk to answer our questions.
I've been drinking the whole time. It's been great.
You can see the Foxy Bard this weekend with us on Sunday at 6 o'clock. Thank you guys so much. Good night.
Which is a pirate ship.